You know that feeling after a really tough workout? You're super thirsty, but you realize you haven't had to, use the restroom in hours. Well, that is not a coincidence. That's your body running this incredibly sophisticated program behind the scenes to keep everything perfectly in check. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the amazing system that makes it all happen.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with that very familiar post-workout feeling. Then we'll connect the dots to a huge biological idea. From there, we'll take a tour of your body's own personal purification plant, check out its main filtration centers, and finally meet the tiny, microscopic engines that are doing all the heavy lifting.
All right, let's jump right into this, and we'll start with a question that I think you'll definitely relate to. Seriously, think about that for a second. You're sweating, you're parched, and for a few hours, the thought of going to the bathroom doesn't even cross your mind. This isn't just some random quirk. Oh no. It's a crystal clear signal that your body has flipped a switch and activated a very important, very sophisticated defense program.
So what's really going on? Well, your body's internal sensors have detected a water shortage, and it is taking immediate action. It's basically screaming, hold everything, conserve all water. It's rerouting resources and slamming the brakes on water output to save every single drop. And this whole response is just one part of a much, much bigger process that's literally keeping you alive.
And that process has a name: homeostasis. It sounds complicated, but it's really just the biological term for the constant, delicate balancing act your body is performing every single second. It's not about staying frozen or static. It's about dynamic equilibrium, like a thermostat for your body, constantly making tiny adjustments to keep your internal world stable, no matter what chaos is happening on the outside.
So, the big question is, how does the body actually pull off this incredible feat? I mean, how does it manage this balancing act? Well, it relies on this dedicated, super efficient system.
You know, the best way to wrap your head around this is to picture a high-tech purification plant. It's this complex facility that doesn't just mindlessly filter out junk. It's way smarter than that. It carefully analyzes everything, decides what to keep, what to recycle, and what to throw out, all to maintain that perfect internal balance.
The official name for this incredible plant is the Excretory System. Its two main jobs are waste management and water balance. It's on duty 24/7, constantly cleaning your blood, pulling out toxins from all your body's processes, and making absolutely sure you have the perfect amount of water and minerals.
Now, every great plant has a main control room, right? A central hub where all the most important work happens. For our bodies, that's the kidneys. These two bean-shaped organs are the absolute powerhouses of the whole operation. They never clock out. They are working around the clock, day and night, processing your entire blood supply over and over again to pull out waste products and make these tiny, critical adjustments to your body's chemistry.
And what's cool is we can map the parts of the kidney right onto our plant analogy. So the renal artery, that's the main intake pipe, bringing in the dirty blood. The cortex is like the first big filtration stage. The medulla is where the fine-tuning happens, especially for getting the water balance just right. And the ureter? That's the wastewater pipe, carrying all the junk away from the facility.
Okay, so we've seen the main building and its different departments, but to see where the real magic happens, we have to zoom in. I mean, way, way, way in. We have to go microscopic.
The scale of this operation is just mind-blowing. We're talking about over 1 million, let that sink in, 1 million tiny individual filtering machines packed into each of your kidneys. To give you some perspective, together they filter about 180 liters of blood. That's almost 50 gallons every single day. It's an absolutely incredible feat of biological engineering.
And these microscopic machines have a name. They're called nephrons. They are the true heroes of the kidney. If the kidney is the purification plant, then the nephrons are the individual workers on the assembly line, each one performing the entire complex filtration process all by itself. So, how does each little nephron do its job? Well, it's a beautifully simple 3-step process. First up is filtration. This is where almost everything small, good stuff, bad stuff, water, gets squeezed out of the blood. But wait, you can't just throw out the good stuff. That brings us to step 2, reabsorption. This is the smart part. The nephron goes through everything and reclaims all the essentials the body needs, like glucose, salts, and a whole lot of that water. And finally, step 3 is excretion. Whatever's left over, the actual junk and any extra water, gets collected and sent out as urine.
And there you have it. We've come full circle. That constant 3-step process,
filter, reabsorb, excrete. Happening in over 1 million nephrons at the exact same time is precisely how your body controls its water levels, removes toxins, and maintains that perfect internal balance. This is homeostasis in action, right down at the tiniest level.
When you think about it, it really makes you appreciate the incredible, non-stop work happening inside of you right this very second. Because when this system fails, the consequences are serious. The body can't clean its own blood, and that leads to a toxic buildup that requires major medical help, like dialysis. It just goes to show you how absolutely vital this quiet, constant balancing act really is for our survival.